Welcome. In this playthrough of Marvel Champions card game, we have Hawkeye teaming up with Spider Woman to take on the Red Skull in Scenario 5 of the Rise of the Red Skull. So I received my new playmat just in time. So let's go ahead and look at her story here so far. Avengers have assembled, and Red Skull is going to go deal with them. So her story so far: you have liberated Zola's island and disarmed the Mad Doctor, but the reality gem still eludes you. You learn from Zola that the gem resides with the true mastermind behind the Hydra's ascendancy, the brilliant and nefarious Red Skull. The villain has taken up residence in Washington, D.C. and transformed the White House into his personal fortress. But the Red Skull's ambition for conquest does not end with the USA. He plans to bind every nation under Hydra rule with the power of the reality gem. His scientists work around the clock to make the necessary modifications to Zola's machine. Once completed, Red Skull will use the reality gem to conquer the whole world. If that happens, nobody will save from the types of atrocities you witness in Zola's labs. Cannot allow this to happen. You must defeat Red Skull and use the reality gem to set things right again. So for our villain deck, we have Red Skull 1 and 2. So a quick look at him. He's got a scheme of 2 to start with. His attack is determined by the number of schemes in play. So he gets +1 attack for each side scheme in play. 12 health per player. Version 2, scheme of 3, same thing for attack, but when revealed, deal each player an encounter card and 16 health per player. He has 2 side schemes, Rise of the Red Skull and New World Hydra. And for the encounter deck, we've got the Red Skull set, Hydra Assault, and Hydra Patrol and Standard. And then looking at this for setup, we put the Red House into play, shuffle every other side scheme into the side scheme deck and set it next to the counter deck. So see the insert. So basically we're taking all the side schemes out of the counter deck and creating a second deck for that. So to have its own separate discard pile. If it's ever empty, we'll reshuffle it and there's no penalty for doing that. And then we will also set the sleeper aside and out of play. The Red House. So with this out, Red Skull cannot take damage. It's an interrupt. When a character thwarts this side scheme, they may use their attack instead of their thwart. That's going to come in with 6 threat on it, so 3 per player. And the sleeper is a scheme of 1, attack of 3, 5 health per player. Guard, retaliate 1, and toughness. When revealed, the sleeper engages the first player, and when defeated, remove him from the game. And then for setup, set your deck for all cards with a setup keyword and put them in play. We still get the experimental attachments shuffled into the counter deck. And then we're going to place X threat counters on the main scheme, where X is the number of delay counters recorded in the campaign log. And that number was 7. So we'll be starting our main scheme with 7 threat on it. It has a threshold of 8 per player. And a force response after resolving step 1 of the villain phase. Reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put it into play. So thwart is going to be my favorite or most used action this game. As for our heroes, and we'll go over deck construction at the end of the video. Hawkeye, thwart 1, attack of 2, defense of 1. Quick draw, exhaust him to ready his bow. Alter ego, recovery of 3. Weapon of choice as an action, spend a resource of any type. Search your deck and discard pile for Hawkeye's bow and add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Hand size of 6 on this side, 5 on this one, and I'm using Justice for him because I want as many thwart cards in this game as possible. Then our improved recovery upgrade. We get +4 hit points, +1 recovery, and as a response, after we use our recovery, exhaust this card and draw a card. And we still have our stems. It's a hero action. Discard this card, remove it from the campaign log. Ready your hero and heal 5 damage from him. And then Spider Woman, who will be using aggression and leadership. 1 for thwart, attack, and defense. Superhuman agility is an interrupt when we play an aspect card. She gets +1 thwart, attack, and defense till the end of the round. Limit once per phase for each aspect type. Hand size of 5, 11 hit points. Recovery of 3. Double agent is just telling that she uses 2 aspects. Just have to use an equal number of cards in each of those. And as an action, look the top card of any deck. Hand size of 6. She has her improved thwart upgrade. She gets +2 hit points, +1 thwart. And as a response, after you defeat a side scheme, exhaust this card and draw a card. And then she has her laser cannon. Hero action, discard this card, remove it from the campaign log. Deal 5 damage to the villain and each enemy engaged with you. All right, for finishing setup, give the encounter deck a good shuffle. Get that placed out. Then we have our side scheme deck to shuffle. And then for Clint, he starts with 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Got a Vibranium Arrow, Genius, Electra, Explosive Arrow, Cable Arrow, and Skilled Investigator. And since he currently can't take damage, we will go ahead and discard those 2. Downtime and Expert Marksman. And for Jessica Drew, she gets 6 cards. Getting Squirrel Girl, Immunity, Captain Marvel, Pheromones, Venom Blast, and Finesse. And we will discard those 3. Strength in Numbers, Piercing Strike, and She-Hulk. And we are going to go searching for his bow, discarding a resource of any type. And see where we left that thing. And that's going to give us +1 attack, and each of our arrow attacks gains range, so Retaliate will not affect us. And we will go ahead and put that in play. Then, as the genius we are, we'll bring in Expert Marksman. It's a resource. Exhaust this to generate a wild resource for an arrow event. And we'll go ahead and do that so we can play a Cable Arrow. Exhaust this bow, remove 3 threat from a scheme, ignoring any crisis icons in play. And I want to get a better handle on this before I start working on that one. Then we'll be a Skilled Investigator, 0 cost upgrade, play under any player's control, max 1 per player. After a side scheme is defeated, exhaust this to draw a card. We're going to keep that on Hawkeye. Then we'll bring in Electra. After you play her, you can spend a physical resource to deal 3 damage to an enemy, but we can't hurt him. And I don't have any more resources. So she will thwart. But when a character thwarts this side scheme, they may use their attack instead of thwart. So 3. Then we will flip over and thwart using our attack for 3. So the red house, this gets discarded. We're just going to put that behind that stack. And after a side scheme is defeated, exhaust to draw a card, getting a Clear the Area. We'll have her take a peek at this card. So you can see first attack. If you're in hero form, the villain attacks you after this activation. So he's doing 2 attacks, but the second one's not going to have a boost. And we can damage him now. Then flip it over. Then we will bring in Finesse with these. Hero resource, exhaust this to generate a wild resource. Then we'll bring in Squirrel Girl with Pheromones and Finesse. She enters play, dealing damage to each enemy. Red Skull, first damage from Squirrel Girl. Then we're just going to cycle through her deck here a little bit. Well, first we get 1 for that. Exhaust any number of allies you control. Draw a card for each ally exhausted this way, just to see if it's something we want to keep for later. That might help. Then she will thwart for 1, 2, and 3. And end her turn. I'll go ahead and keep both of these. So we'll get 4 more cards over here. Power of Justice, Quake, 4 Justice, and Nick Fury. And then 4 over here. Black Knight, Spider-Girl, Immunity, and Relentless Assault. So Red Skull's first turn, getting 2 threat. And then after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put it into play. So we've got some prison camps. It's coming in with 3 threat per player. When defeated, the player who defeated the scheme searches their deck and discard pile for an ally, puts it into play, and shuffles their deck. That seems awesome. Except for the acceleration token. So he's got a base of 0. Gets +1 attack for each side scheme of play. So base of 1. We know he's getting attacked twice here. First one doesn't have a boost though. Well, additional attack. So we're in hero form. He's going to attack us again, but we don't get any boost cards for it. So we're taking 1 from that attack. Then he's going to attack again, hitting us for 1 more. Then attacking over here for base 1. All right, that wasn't so bad. What's this going to do? Energy Shield. Attached to the villain, he gets Retaliate 1. It's a hero action. Spend energy and mental resources to discard this card. And Hydra Regular. Insight 1. So when this card is revealed, place 1 threat on the main scheme. He's got a scheme of 1, attack of 2, and 2 health. And Spider Woman is first player, and reset that. So we will start by bringing in Spider Girl. After we play her from your hand, we can stun and confuse a minion. So he's stunned and confused, but then we're going to go ahead and just attack him for 2 to get rid of him. She takes her damage. That was an aspect card. She will go ahead and thwart for 1, 2, 3. Taking this down to 3. Then we will play this as a hero action. Ready Spider Woman. She gains the aerial trait until the end of the round. Thwart again for 3. It's going to trigger a couple of things. So after you defeat a side scheme, exhaust this card and draw a card. Finding some pheromones. And then the prison camps. Player defeated the scheme, searches their deck and discard pile for an ally, puts it into play, and shuffles their deck. And I think I've already discarded the one I want. Captain Marvel. And there's no payment. It's just puts into play. All right. 4 to 2, attack of 2, 3 health. After she uses a basic power, draw a card. I hope this will hurt a little bit. She's going to attack for 2. Down to 21. Get to retaliate and activate. Draws a card into Wonder Man. Then we're going to play Pheromones using Wonder Man and Finesse to stun and confuse an enemy. And Squirrel Girl will thwart for 1. Oh yeah, and as a hero response, after we defeated that side scheme, we can draw a card on this side, clear the area. Then we will discard an energy and mental resource to take out the energy shield. Elektra will swing for 3, down to 18. Hawkeye will swing for 3, down to 15. We will bring in Quake with the Power of Justice. Her minion schemes, exhaust her, deal 2 damage to that minion. She'll come in and attack for 2, down to 13. And we'll go ahead and clear the area, remove 2 threat from the scheme. If this removes the last threat on that scheme, draw a card. And that will end our turn. Drawing 5. So we've got Inconspicuous, Make the Call, Venom Blast, Strength, and Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Then on this side, Agent Coulson, Strength, a Quinn Carrier, Expert Marksman, and Mockingbird. So up to 3 threat. Our next scheme is a Hydra Patrol. When defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion, puts it into play, engage with them, then shuffle the encounter deck. And it comes out with 4. Then Skull attacks over here, loses stunned. Attacks over here. He's only doing 1 damage, but he's bound to get a big number here soon, so Squirrel Girl will defend. So it would have been 3 damage. Then encounter cards. Bitter Rival. When revealed, exhaust a character you control for each side scheme in play. Alright, sorry Spider Girl. And Jet Trooper comes in a quick strike. So 0 scheme, 2 attack, 3 health. We'll just take it down to 9. And Hawkeye's first player. And he's going to start by putting in the Quinn Carrier for 3. So we can exhaust this to generate a wild resource and play only if our identity has the Avenger trait, which we do. Then we're going to use the Quinn Carrier to bring in our other Expert Marksman. Hawkeye is going to attack for 3 to take care of him. Elektra will do 3 damage, down to 10. And she'll retreat. Quake will hang around for a little bit. Spider Woman's going to make a call. Pay the printed cost of an ally in any player's discard pile. Put that ally into play under your control. Well, she is free. See no reason to not do that. So Elektra comes in, swings for 3, down to 7. We did play a leadership card. We will now play a Venom Blast, dealing 5 damage to an enemy. And I'm scared to say this is going too well. Spider Woman thwarting for 4. When defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play. So not revealed. So we'll bring in a regular over here. And believe there's another regular we'll bring in over here and shuffle. All right, so we've got that taken care of. We defeated a side scheme, so exhaust that to draw a card. U.S. Agent. A side scheme was defeated. Exhaust that to draw a card. Electric Arrow. Then Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Exhaust an Avenger character you control. Captain Marvel. Ready another Avenger character you control. Spider Woman. And then attacking for 3 to take care of that one. Then we will use Finesse to play Inconspicuous. Hero action, remove a total of 3 threat from among schemes in play. Oh yeah, and that's no longer out. We will keep U.S. Agent. And we're going to keep both of these for Hawkeye. So drawing 3 on this side. Spycraft, Counterintelligence, and a Cable Arrow. And 4 cards over here. Hawkeye, Tigra, Make the Call, and Moon Knight. 2 threats. Next scheme, Hydra Reinforcements. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme discards a non-elite minion. But this will get us an extra encounter card. That's not cool. Attacking over here for a base of 1. Quake will jump in the way. So give the villain a tough status card and another boost card. So tough. So 3 damage coming in. Then attacking over here, Spider-Girl jumps in the way. Base 1. Give Red Skull a tough status card. So, haha, you already have one. 2 damage, Spider-Girl goes away. And then this guy swings for 2, and we'll take it. Counter cards. The Villain Schemes. Nice picture. So base 2, 3, another tough card he won't be getting. So up to 5. And then Hydra Flame Soldier. Scheme of 1, attack of 1. 4 health. After he makes an undefended attack against you, discard a support you control. And Spider Woman's first player, reset. Oh yeah, and that does have 4 threat on it. Well, Captain Marvel is going to attack for 2, and as a response, after she uses a basic power, draw a card. Finding Shang-Chi. 2 damage, takes him out. And she gets 3 on her. Then we're going to bring in U.S. Agent. 4 to 1, attack of 1, 5 health, retaliate 1. After this character is attacked, deal damage to the attacking character. He is going to come in and thwart for 1. Elektra will attack for 3. We will then play Moon Knight. After you play him from your hand, spend a wild resource to draw 2 cards, so we'll do that. Drawing into Piercing Strike and Inconspicuous. So we played Leadership. Now we're going to play an Aggression card. Paying that for it. And this, deal 3 damage to an enemy. This attack gains Piercing. So we remove Tough. And the first version of Red Skull is gone like that. Second version, scheme of 3, attack of 1, +1 for each side scheme in play. When revealed, deal each player an encounter card, and coming in with 32 health. So a bit healthier than the previous one. And the counter cards. Then thwarting for 4. Which allows us to draw a card. Strengthen numbers. Can draw a card over here. Helicarrier. Wasted her attack. Should have read this card earlier and remembered it. Player who defeated this scheme discards a non-elite minion. So this guy is non-elite. And Moon Knight will swing for 2, down to 30. Then we're going to bring in Agent Coulson. Using the Quinn Carrier. And so 2 thwarts, 1 attack, 3 health, shield and spy. As a response, after he enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a preparation card, add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. I think I have another spycraft in here. Or maybe I don't. All right. So in that case, we will shuffle our deck. Go through our discard pile and get counterintelligence. So Coulson is going to scheme for 2. Then we're going to use our cable arrow to do some spycraft. Play only if you control a spy character. So Agent Coulson is a spy. It's an interrupt. When you reveal an encounter card, discard spycraft, cancel the effects of that card, and discard it. Then reveal another card from the encounter deck. Then we're going to play an electric arrow, solstice bow, stun an enemy and deal 3 damage to it. Down to 27. Oh, and we paid for that with these 2. Then we will attack for 3. Down to 24. And flip over. Ending our turn. Ready our cards. And we'll go ahead and discard this. Didn't use it. I'll keep strength in numbers. I've got 3 allies out. Exhaust any number of allies you control to draw a card for each ally exhausted this way. That might help. 1, 2, 3, 4, and okay, 4 cards. So Earth's Mightiest Heroes, strength in numbers again, a glide and energy. Then we'll get 6 here. We've got Power of Justice, Sonic Arrow times 2, White Tiger, a Beat Cop, and an Electric Arrow. 2 threat. Next side scheme. Censor the Past. When defeated, each player chooses up to 3 cards in their discard pile and shuffles them into their deck. All right, so it's got an acceleration token and comes out with 6 threat on it. My favorite team up, attack and scheme, stunned and confused. But we are getting 2 encounter cards each. First one, Flame Soldier. So we've seen him. Next one, Infinite Power. We're in hero mode. Give him a tough status card, and he attacks me. Electra will defend. So base 1, 2. Give the villain a tough status card and another boost card. 3, 4. So 4 damage coming in. Electra goes away. Then over here, Red Skull's Right Hook. Attach to Red Skull. Gains Retaliate 1. Hero action. Spend 1 of each resource to discard this card. And he's going to scheme. His favorite thing to do. So 3, 5. So we're up to 10 out of 16. And we'll move this over. Clint will recover for a base 3 plus 1, so up to 13. And whenever we use our recover ability, exhaust this card to draw a card. Explosive Arrow. That's reset. Agent Coulson will thwart for 2. We'll go ahead and flip over. And bring in White Tiger. After you play her from our hand, we can spend a mental resource to remove 3 threat from a scheme, which we will go ahead and do. Then thwart for 3 on this one. Then an explosive arrow, using this to pay for it. Exhaust our bow. Choose a player. Spider Woman, deal 3 damage to the villain and each minion engaged with that player. So 3 over here, gets rid of toughness. Then we will bring in a beat cop with the power of justice, and we might as well use our Quinn carrier. So as an action, exhaust him to move 1 threat from a scheme to here. Then exhaust and discard beat cop, deal 1 damage to a minion. And I'll just go ahead and use him to clear this off. So each player chooses up to 3 cards in their discard pile and shuffles them into our deck. Also, he gets to draw a card, clear the area. So 3 cards. So over here, we'll choose Strength in Numbers, Earth's Modest Heroes, and Piercing Strike. Get those shuffled in here. And then over here, we will be going with a Vibranium Arrow, Strength, and Mockingbird. And finish shuffling this up. Oh yeah, and that threat remove goes on the beat cop. Then we're going to clear the area, remove 2 threat from a scheme. And that'll be it for him. Spider Woman. Spider Woman is going to spend a energy, physical, and mental to get rid of his right hook. Then Strength in Numbers, exhaust any number of allies you control, draw 1 card for each ally exhausted this way. We will draw 2 cards. Piercing Strike and Rapid Response. We will go with Piercing Strike to deal 3 damage to an enemy, just to get rid of the soldier here. That'll boost us up again, and we will thwart for 4. Ending our turn, we will discard Rapid Response, keep the Electric Arrow, ready our cards, and drawing 4 more. Vibranium Arrow, Heroic Intuition, our Quiver, and Skilled Investigator. And 5 over here. Genius, Strength in Numbers, Valkyrie, Modest Heroes, and Relentless Assault. So 2 threat. Side scheme, this one, the Sleeper Awakened. This scheme cannot leave play while the Sleeper is in play. When revealed, put the Sleeper into play engaged with the first player. When the Sleeper is defeated, remove this card from the game. So Hawkeye gets the Sleeper coming in with a scheme of 1, attack of 3, guard, retaliate, and toughness. Then Red Skull will attack. Coulson will jump in the way. So 1, 2, 3 damage. Coulson will jump to the discard pile. Then the Sleeper will attack here, and we are going to have U.S. Agent defend. So 3 damage. He lives, retaliate to get rid of toughness. Then Skull attacks over here. We will defend. Base 2. Give the villain a tough status card and another boost. So 3 damage. We have a defensive 3, so we take nothing. Then our encounter cards. First one, Twisted Reality. incite 1, and attach to a side scheme. Force response: when attached side scheme is defeated, deal the first player an encounter card. All right. Then we get a Hydra Soldier. Guard, and when defeated, deal the engaged player an encounter card. And first player. Reset. We will bring in Valkyrie for... All right, we will bring in Valkyrie for 3, using Genius for 2 and Finesse for the other, Aggression. And since we used Energy, we can do 3 damage to a minion when she enters play. We'll put that there. Then, okay, that guy's got guard. All right, so Moon Knight. We'll take this guy out, taking a damage, and we get an encounter card. Then Valkyrie will swing for 2 to get rid of toughness. And we'll use Relentless Assault, dealing 5 damage to a minion. We get overkill, but not enough damage to get overkill. Now, what's this thing doing? Another encounter card. Well, Hawkeye's going to go and make Spider Woman a skilled investigator. Then we are going to play Vibranium Armor, using our 2 marksman cards to pay for it. Exhauster Bow. Deal 6 damage to an enemy. Sleeper is defeated. When defeated, remove him from the game. And then this cannot leave play while he's in play. And when he's defeated, remove this card from the game. All right. Then, deal the first player an encounter card. The side scheme was defeated. We can draw a card over here just to see what it is. Got a glide. Same thing over here, drawing a card, getting strength. We're going to use that strength to bring in Heroic Intuition for Spider Woman. Use her Beat Cop to take a threat. Use her to remove the remaining 3. Quinn Carrier to bring our quiver, so we can play arrow events attached to this card as if they were in your hand. It's a hero action. Exhaust the quiver, search the top 5 cards of your deck for an arrow event, and attach it face up to this card. So go ahead and do that. Looking for an arrow. We found Vibranium. And Hawkeye shoots for 3. Down to 21. And I believe that's all we've got going on. Yep, so we will ready everything. I will keep each card respectively, drawing 4 more. Relentless Assault, Martial Prowess, Piercing Strike, and Finesse. And Mockingbird, Under Surveillance, Beat Cop, and another Beat Cop. 2 threat. Side Scheme, Mass Chaos. When revealed, each player discards the top 5 cards of the deck and places 1 threat here for each different type of resource icon they discarded this way. So each player discards. We only have 4 to discard. So we're going through our deck. Another encounter card. We have 3 different resource types. So shuffling. And finishing up with that. Then over here, 5 cards. And we only have 2 different types. And Lockjaw. So up to 5. And so this gets shuffled now. Red Skull will attack over here. U.S. Agent will defend. So it's a base 2 attack. Attached to Red Skull is the boost. His attacks gain piercing and ranged. Oh, that was convenient. Spend one of each resource to discard this card. All right, so he's taking out U.S. Agent, and since he has ranged, we do not retaliate on him. And I guess I'll let Hawkeye ready. Then attacking here. Moon Knight will defend. He's now 1, 2, 3 attack. 4 attack. Moon Knight goes away. And counter cards, she only has 4. 1 here. First one, Master Strategist. Attached to Red Skull. When he activates, give him an additional boost card for each scheme in play. Then discard this card. Interesting. Then gang up. The villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. Well, with the additional boost, White Tiger will jump in the way. So base 1, 2, 3 with 2 boost cards. 5 damage. I love allies. Next, Shadows of the Past. Awesome. Bring in the Viper. Scheme of 2, attack of 2, 5 health. While she's engaged with you, her hand size is reduced by 1. Then Viper's Ambition. When revealed, place an additional threat per player here. So that's coming in with 4. And these 3 will be coming up very shortly because they'll be shuffled in with those 3. And then Power Gauntlets. Attach to the villain. After he attacks and damages you, discard a card from your hand. And over here, Bitter Rival. It's also a character you control for each side scheme in play. Well, we only have 1 character. All right, well, that made it interesting. Well, Beat Cop. We'll take 1 off of here. We will use our quiver to see what our bottom 3 cards are. No arrows. That gets reset. So Hawkeye is going to use his vibranium arrow, using these 2 to pay for it. Soul Singer Bow to deal 6 damage to an enemy. Down to 15. And well, that got discarded after it got used. We will use the Quinn Carrier and those 2 to bring in Mockingbird. 4 to 2 attack of 2. It's an interrupt. When the villain initiates an attack against you, spend a resource of any type, return her to her hand, prevent all damage from this attack. She's going to come in and swing for 2 over on the Viper. And that is going to be the turn here. Well, we already have a thwart of 3, so she will go ahead and do that. And allow us to draw a card over here. Spider-Man. We'll get to draw 2 cards over here. Strengthen numbers and make the call. Then we're going to make a call. Pay the printed cost of an ally in any player's discard pile. Put that ally into play under your control. Which free one does she have over there? That removes threat from a scheme. We're going to call Moon Knight back. I don't have any wild resources in my hand, but we'll put him in play. Attack for 2 there. Takes it up to 4 damage. Then we'll do Strength in Numbers. Exhaust any number of allies you control to draw a card for each ally exhausted this way. Exhausting Valkyrie. Drawing into another Strength in Numbers. Then we will Relentless Assault using Finesse here. And this one is a wild to make a physical resource. Deal 5 damage to minion with Overkill. Soaks up 1 here. 4 breaks through down to 11. Gives us another bonus. Then we will ready Spider Woman. And she will attack for 3. Down to 8. And end her turn. We'll go ahead and keep these 2 for Spider Woman. I will discard Beat Cop. So we're getting 3 cards here. We draw 2. Get an encounter card and do some shuffling. All right. So we get 1 more card. That's going to be some strength. And 3 cards over here. Piercing Strike, Strength in Numbers, and Shang-Chi. So 2 threat. Another side scheme pops out. The Red House, so Red Skull cannot take damage. So we can use attack when we thwart here. That comes out with 6. Attacking over here. It's initiated. We're going to spend a resource of any type. Return her to her hand. Prevent all damage from this attack. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it's all prevented. Initiate an attack over here. Valkyrie will defend. So once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And counter cards. First one, Hail Hydra. When revealed, each Hydra minion engaged with a hero attacks that hero. Each player who was not attacked this way searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion, puts it into play, engage with them, and shuffle the encounter deck. All right, I think we know which one we're looking for. Hydra Regular. So this is when they are revealed. We are not revealing them, we're just putting them in play. So that's taken care of. Then he's got his right hook back. Give him retaliate. And a flame soldier. First player. So what can we do here? We will bring in Shang-Chi. Strength in Numbers. Exhaust any number of allies you control. Draw a card for each ally exhausted this way. Drawing 2 cards. Pheromones and Wonder Man. We will do a Piercing Strike with Piercing Strike and Finesse. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. We'll take care of this Hydra Regular. That was another aspect card. We will then bring in Wonder Man with these 2. 4-1, attack of 3. It's an additional cause for him to attack. You must discard 1 card from your hand. Well, he's going to thwart. for 1. And then Spider Woman is going to thwart for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. To take care of the red house. So now Red Skull can be damaged. But we defeated a side scheme, so we can draw a card over here. Sonic Arrow, and we can draw 2 cards over here. Rapid Response and Relentless Assault. Oops, it's that one that gets exhausted, not this one. Then we're going to pull out a laser cannon. Hero action. Discard this card and remove it from the campaign log. Deal 5 damage to the villain and each enemy engaged with you. So he's defeated. And he goes down to 3. And we're dealing damage, so not an attack, so we do not get retaliated on. Beat Cop is having fun. They're going to exhaust and discard him to deal damage to a minion for each threat here. It's got 3. Takes out the Hydra regular. We'll use our quiver to see what good stuff we have on top here. Got a cable arrow. We'll go ahead and take that. Use our marksman to pay for this. Exhaust our bow. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. Quinn Carrier is going to bring in Spider-Man for 1 less. Or give us a wild resource. So it comes in. Thwart a 2, attack for 2, 4 health. After you play Spider-Man from your hand, remove 3 threat per player from a side scheme. So Mass Chaos is now gone. And Hawkeye will then swing for 3, taking out the Red Skull. So Hawkeye and Spider Woman kind of had their way with the Red Skull there. So the stack of Justice cards and all the allies taking up the defense with leadership and aggression really paid off. So for our victory, Hydra is defeated and the players win the campaign. Turn the page to read the conclusion. So Cap, I found the stone. I believe I can use it to undo Hydra's reality. Do it, Tony. Well, duh. It's good to be home. Well, I guess we see a flash of light first. It's good to be home. Barely another glorious victory to celebrate. What's bothering you, Tony? Hydra nearly conquered the world with that stone. What if there are more stones out there? And so that's a good setup for the next expansion that might be coming, because we know Guardians of the Galaxy will be coming out soon. So to step this up a notch, like I said, typically when I play games, I like to start on the normal mode just to see what the cards can do before I take it up to expert. So for expert rolls, there's another campaign set. Persistent damage, so you do not heal between scenarios. And if you do heal, you take obligations, which makes your life harder, and they go in your hero deck. And for deck construction, Hawkeye, 2 Power of Justice, under surveillance, 3 for justice, 3 clear the areas, Heroic Intuition, got that in there for Spider Woman, then 3 beat cops, 2 skilled investigators. Just put that on anyone so they can draw a card, just knowing what Red Skull does. Spycraft, counterintelligence, 2 preparation cards for Coulson to go get. And Spycraft, you need a spy character, and that's exactly what Coulson is. Then more allies, Spider-Man, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Quake. Then for our basic cards, 3 resources, Quinn Carrier, Helicarrier, Nick Fury, another spy, Lockjaw, endurance, and downtime. And for Spider Woman, with aggression, combat training, martial prowess, once again for Hawkeye, 3 relentless assaults, 3 piercing strikes, Valkyrie, She-Hulk, Spider-Girl, and Tigra. Then in leadership, we've got 3 Make the Calls, 3 Strength in Numbers, then Wonder Man, U.S. Agent, Hawkeye, Squirrel Girl, Black Knight, and Rapid Response. And for the basic cards, I've got the 3 resources, and then I put in 3 Earth's Mightiest Heroes to finish it off. So those are my deck builds for Spider-Woman and Hawkeye versus the Red Skull. This playthrough did complete our standard playthrough of Rise of the Red Skull. As always, I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.